Hey there, and welcome to Marriage Talks, a real, authentic, and relatable podcast about how to thrive in your marriage. I'm Elizabeth Ann.
And I'm Michael.
And today we have another
Fave
Fave
5, baby! So, if you are uninitiated to the Fave 5 phenomenon, we decided since we started our podcast that every fifth episode would be kind of a less serious, kind of fun, just chance to talk about we each secretly pick our 5 favorite things in a certain category, and then we will spend the episode talking about them. And the point of it was to have just kind of a fun jump off, like prompt. It's kind of like a fun date night, and we want you guys to also kind of keep these same subjects in mind, and like you can do our same ones, like favorite car, favorite some like vacation or
dream vacation.
Dream vacation, yeah, just kind of fun stuff to talk about, something light and like imaginary, and kind of just put yourself in like a fun place.
Right, and the like Michael said, the whole point of it is to like have something just fun and lighthearted, but really for couples who don't feel well equipped to communicate with their spouse, this is a really great kind of introductory into communication with your spouse, because it's difficult to communicate on tough topics. The whole idea is that it should be easier to communicate with these types of Fave 5 things. So this kind of gives couples who are not strong at communicating an idea to start becoming better at communicating, because it takes practice. So talking about something that as silly as your Fave 5 cars is a really great place to start, because you're just talking about something simple, something easy, and it just helps you become a better communicator. And so
it's like baby steps into, different stuff.
Yeah, so that's why we do the Fave 5 episode, and it may seem off topic a little bit, but it's really not, because it's good communication practice. And before we get into our Fave 5, the ones that we both pick, we also want to let you know that today's episode is brought to you by the Marriage Talks Patreon. We will leave links in the show notes of how you can get connected with that, and there's lots of great extra content, things that you won't find anywhere else, stuff that has all of our stuff just in one place, and it's a really great way to communicate with us and really to get questions answered quickly.
Yeah, so check it out. We can't wait to hear from you guys. All right, so on to the topic for the night, and it is time appropriate and something I've been wanting to talk about because it's my favorite thing that occurs in the year. We're going to talk about our 5 favorite things about summer. It's summer now, and we live in Florida, so it's like...
technically it's not summer.
Is it not?
No. Summer doesn't happen till like June 21st or something.
No way.
Yeah, according to the like solstice, whatever calendar.
I love it so much I don't actually know when it starts.
But we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, winter happens late, and so does summer. It's just
like an anticipatory thing. So I can't wait for summer. But we live in Florida, so it's like summer all the time.
Yeah.
Like the coldest we see any given year is like 38, and that's pretty rare. So not to make anybody feel bad. Sorry for all you guys up in like Canada and New York and the Dakotas where it gets really cold. Although some people like that. Some people think that summer all year is terrible.
I like the heat. I'm not a fan of living in the cold.
Yeah. All right, so let's get on with our choices. So, ladies first on this podcast. So, hit us up.
We keep notes with this one. So, like we have to have separate notes because Michael doesn't know my list and I don't know his list. So, number 5 of my Fave 5 things about summer, because we're going 5 to 1.
5 to 1.
Is longer days. The sun sets later in the day, so you have longer days. You get to go on walks. The sun setting at like 4:30, I'm not a fan of.
That's terrible.
It's terrible. I love a long day. I just love having the sun out. So I like the longer days.
I've been saying for years we need to get rid of daylight savings.
Oh, let's just get rid of it. We don't need it.
Because like I don't need all that sunlight at 5:15 a.m. I'm not using it. But I do want to use that nighttime. It's like I don't even work that late. On a normal day, I work till 4, wrap up around 4:30, 4:45, come home, and have a 2-minute commute. And during that, like deep into that cycle of daylight savings, it is dark, too dark to go on a walk with the family by the time I get home. And I know those people who work till 5 and then drive an hour, there's no chance. And that's the pits. So I agree. That's a cool one.
It's the pits. I don't know why that's fun to say, but it is.
All right, so my number 5 is rainstorms.
Ooh,
Yeah.
we got some good ones in Florida.
Yeah, so for those of you Florida listeners, this is called the Sunshine State. Now, this is not my native state. I'm from Georgia originally. And so I moved to the Sunshine State in 2013, thinking there's probably a lot of sunshine there. And there is. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of sunshine. But it is not an appropriate name for this state in July. It rains all the time. Like every single day, like clockwork at 4 o'clock. Massive rainstorm. I'm talking like crazy levels of rain.
Buckets.
Yeah, but it's only for a short time. And then
It
it's
usually
gone.
clears up by 4:05.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I've seen like trees blown over on a normal Tuesday for these storms. But that sounds like I don't like it, but they're actually really cool because they're so predictable, because they don't last that long. They don't affect a whole lot. Like you don't have to cancel your day for it. But if you do happen to be at home during one of those things, and we have a nice like covered patio, it's really darn relaxing to be out there. It's cool. Yeah, you kind of watch the clouds roll in, and I don't know, it's impressive. I like it.
The Lord is the great designer of all things.
Mm-hmm.
Afternoon rainstorm, what a blessing.
Yeah. All right, what you got for your number 4?
My number 4 is cookouts. Michael is very good at the grill, and there's just something really sweet about cookouts and getting the family together, and I don't know. Because we've got warm weather and we can do it legit all year round. I don't know why we don't, but it's just something that typically happens.
Sounds like a dig.
No, it's just, I think
Just kidding.
I think it's just like, we don't think about it in like fall. Well, fall, we do it in the fall, but like winter and spring and stuff like that. I don't know, I just don't think about
Well,
it.
the grill's out back. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind a little bit. So, sorry. I'll now that you say it, let's do that tomorrow.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I'll pull some meat out of the freezer.
All right, sweet.
What's your number 4?
All right, my number 4 is kind of related, but picnics and or eating on the porch. So outdoor equals happy for me. Like I love being out there. We actually have a bug net all the way around, like a typical patio screen that's totally jacked up right now. We get tons of mosquitoes in there. Again, Florida, thank you. But it's cool to be out there. Lately, heading into the summer, like the past few weeks, we've had so many good days. I can't explain how relaxing it is, especially after like a stressful day at work or you name it. Kids might be not listening so well one day, but going out there and just being outside, somewhat protected from the lesser good parts of nature, like mosquitoes, is just really good for your soul. And I love it. And then picnics too, separately from that, but just kind of like being out in the grass, doing stuff.
Yeah, there's something super healing about it, and like giving you a chance to breathe. Like we don't have a lot of land, or the amount of land that we live on is fairly small, but we're not, what I mean is like we don't have acres of land, but there's just something about being in your yard outside, being able to breathe, not confined by walls. Like it's just nice and refreshing.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Number 3 is outdoor projects / freshly cut lawn. I love outdoor projects. If you follow us on Instagram, you know that we officially kicked off a garden that I have been slaving over for like 3 years. It was a pit of sand and we got irrigation. I built the planter boxes that are there. And we had some brick given to us and we bought some mortar and I made it. And it's like, it just brings me so much satisfaction to do something like that. It was hard work.
Oh, yeah.
Holy cow. And I did it in July of last year.
Was it that long ago?
Yes.
That's crazy.
It was like June or July of last year. It was not the best time in Florida to be doing an outdoor project.
You could say it was poor planning on both of our parts.
But I wanted to do it. Like I wanted to push forward because each phase, it just sat for so long and I was just ready to keep pushing it forward. So the garden is now blooming and we have some things planted and we're just waiting for basically fruit to bloom, produce, you know, the plants are growing.
Well, we did have some salad wraps that were fantastic.
We did.
So that was kind of cool. It's just like a nice thing. It's like, I see it growing and everything, but it's cool to actually consume the things that you put together. Well, you didn't put it together, but you made it happen there in your location. The rest was not up to you, but yeah, it's just like, that's actually a really good salad too.
It was. I had planted mixed greens, and I cut a few sprigs of chives to chop up and throw in there with some chicken and stuff. And it was just, it's just so fresh, so good. I'm very excited for when we get some cucumbers and tomatoes and green beans.
I'm excited for that pineapple, but they say it takes like a year or two.
Yeah. But anyway, so I just love outdoor projects, and I love the smell and the look of a freshly cut lawn. There's just something so satisfying about it. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, I'm normally the lawnmower, but last week I had to do some other stuff that was really pressing inside. And she was like, "Oh, I'll do it if you want me to." I was like, "Really? You've done it before. It's not the first time."
I grew up doing lawn work in Florida, so doing that is not new to me.
Yeah, it was kind of a nice role reversal with me inside with the kids. Oh, the two boys were napping, and it was just with our daughter. But it was kind of a cool thing to look outside and be like, "Hey, sexy lady out there." I guess that's what you do when I cut the lawn. You do stare at me out there?
I do. I'm like,
Well, that's cool. Like
you and me got a date later.
Hey. I don't know why now I always find excuses not to do it. If that's how you feel. Okay. I'm going to get on it.
There you go.
All right. So my number 3 is the beach. So again, I didn't grow up in Florida, but I have adopted it as my own. And I've grown to really love the beach. It's cool. However, we actually didn't go at all last year. I don't know how it happened, but like December 31st.
I'll tell you how it happened.
Well, I know.
We had a baby.
The baby. Of course, the baby happened. So a little bit of that year is accounted for. Like, you don't want to bring your week-old baby. I don't know what the appropriate, like, don't bring your baby to the beach period of time is. It's different for everybody, but our time came and went, and we just didn't go at all. But I am feeling it. I really want to go. So whether you sunbathe, whether you throw a football, whether you get in the water or not, it's fantastic. And it's just good for the soul. Again, outside activities, vitamin D, throwing stuff around.
Vitamin D is so good for you.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Although I will say, I keep seeing articles about sharks. Like, they tag the really big great whites and they get located off of Melbourne. That's pretty close.
You do know we live in the shark bite capital of the world.
Bondi Beach in Australia is that.
Okay, well,
it's bad.
In the U.S. then. That's where we live.
Well, so scratch my third listing off. I don't think that anymore.
I want to go to the pool. Me personally, I want to go to the pool. That's where I want to go.
Yeah. I will say, even living really close to the beach, like, we're really close. It's kind of a hassle to get everything ready and then get everything back. That's my only beef with the beach. Being there's amazing, but the prep and the sand afterwards kind of sucks.
I was going to say, do you want to switch out your number 3, or are you cool with that being your number 3?
No, some of the best stuff has negatives too.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. My number 2 is, for some reason in the summer, life slows down.
Okay. Yeah, keep going. Don't let me interrupt you.
Life just slows down. I just feel like, you hear those lazy summer days, like just kind of those catchphrases that people used to describe the summer, or you listen to Bob Marley. I'm telling you, if I put on some Bob Marley, I am not going to do things in hustle and bustle.
It's like, summertime and the living's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to chill. I just want to sit on the back porch under the fans, drinking margarita. Like, I don't know. There's something about summer that, and I guess it's because there's not, like, in the fall, life gets crazy. There's just so many things planned, so many holidays. But in the summer, aside from really 4th of July, like, that's the only big holiday. Every other holiday falls inside of a school calendar.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's not really like a whole lot of pressing calendar to-dos. And so I just think that life just slows down. People just take it easy. They don't want, because they're in a schedule during the school year, they don't want to adhere to a schedule during the summer. So
yeah, and that goes all the way back to, like, my favorite time in college was the summer semester because all the craziness is kind of gone, traffic's better, and it just seemed like you got quite a bit closer with few people that remained, and that's where our relationship started budding. I think that's actually why I like it so much. All right, now my number 2. We're on number 2, right?
Number 2.
It's hard to keep track. General slowdown. I kid you not.
Ha!
That's why I reacted.
Great minds
that way.
think alike.
Yeah. Yeah. To continue basically what you said is it's nice. It is the one period of time where that's pretty much accepted by everybody. I've not lived in Europe before, but I wish I hear that European countries really take I think it's the month of August. You Europeans, you can correct me on this. Sorry if I butcher this idea, but the whole country basically goes on holiday.
Yeah, I don't know
I think
that
it's big in France or whatever.
I don't know that it's every country, but yes, I know that there are some countries over there that for the month of August, everything shuts down. When I say everything, I don't know that it's necessarily everything because, markets and food and stuff.
Yeah, no hospitals. They're all at the beach. All the doctors, nurses, and phlebotomists are gone.
You got an issue? See ya. Come back in September.
We'll leave a self-service kit or something. Here's some bandages. No, I don't think it's like that. But just think about, I don't know, that's cool. If everybody has regular time where they are relaxing and not working so hard, you're a little more cool. You might be nicer to people. I think America should do that too.
Well, it just gives you a time to recharge. Take a breather. America is a very workaholic-centric culture. And so if everybody were to take a little bit of time off to reset, spend some family time, I think it would do a lot of people good.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of good.
So let's start it here. # USA vacation.
USA
holiday.
USA vacay.
Nice. That has a nice ring to it.
All right.
Are we ready to round this thing out?
Number 1.
It's the quickest Fave 5 ever.
Number 1. We're just steamrolling. Let's go through it. All right. So it's funny that you said why you liked the summers because our relationship started in summer. And my number 1 is summer romance because that's the time of year that you and I first met, got to know each other, and we had some very lovely summers together. And there's just something really nostalgic about the idea of a summer romance.
Oh yeah. Was it Johnny and Sandra D?
Yeah.
Summer loving and having some fun.
That's exactly how it goes.
How does it? Well, don't worry about it. Yeah, you got 2 songs out of me on this episode. So you're welcome.
It's a treat just for you.
Yeah.
But I don't know, there's just something really lovely about I feel like our relationship changes in the summer. And maybe it is the fact that life slows down and we get a chance to have a breather and we're not doing all the things that we would normally do during the fall and holiday season. And so we get a little more time to be intentional with each other. And so that might be what it is. If you just kind of look at it, what we're actually doing differently, but there's just something really sweet about the summer and just how we connect differently, and I like it.
I guess you could say our relationship gets like the season we're in. It gets hot. I guess not, since you're laughing so hard. It's probably true.
Honey, this podcast is PG, okay? Keep it PG.
It is PG.
No details, people.
Yeah. All right, so number 1 for me, it is not as cool as yours, but it's appropriate it was appropriate for this summer, but it's actually no longer appropriate for this summer, and it is Summer Olympics. It is super cool. So I didn't really pay that much attention growing up. It was on, it was pretty exciting. I might be good for a day, and then I'd kind of give up on it. But as I've gotten older, and I feel like you kind of put that seed in my mind of the Olympics being so cool.
Yeah, my family, we are obsessed with the Olympics.
Yeah, and summer, I tend to like summer a little bit more, although it's kind of a tie. They're both pretty cool. You've got all the cool events. Of course, this year, 2020, got postponed, so it's going to be...
Is it later in the year? Or is it to a different year?
I'm not sure. I haven't read anything in a while.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, it's still going to be awesome when it happens. It just won't really be the Summer Olympics. I'm excited for whenever that does happen, but it's a chance to really feel patriotic and yeah, America, because we do win a ton of stuff. It's really cool.
It's nice.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't live in a tiny country with one athlete where your chances of getting a gold medal are so small, but it's just cool. It's yeah, we got 50 gold medals this Olympics.
Yeah, I definitely get very very proud to be an American. I mean, I'm proud to be an American already, but it's just really cool to see the standard of excellence that that the American athletes have. And that is not to say that other countries do not have that same standard of excellence at all. That's not what I'm saying. But
well, and that would be like another reason why it's so cool is because every country is super proud of their people.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Even a tiny country that I didn't even know was a country can send somebody who can really rock an event.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. Like, you're kind of on even footing in a lot of ways. Sometimes not realistically. Yeah, anybody who's over there can win a medal. It's awesome.
Yeah. That rounds out our Fave 5 for this time. And before we sign off with everything, we always do a challenge. If this is your first episode, every single episode we do a challenge, and the purpose of that is so that you can have something actionable to do in your marriage today throughout the next 7 days, so that the next time another episode of Marriage Talks comes out, you have a new challenge. But they're really good actionable things that help strengthen your marriage and make it into a relationship that you and your spouse can thrive in. And so this week, we want you to sit down with your spouse and talk about your Fave 5 things about summer. Now, if you're not a fan of summer, maybe pick a different holiday, one that you're a fan of. If you both have different seasons that you are fans of, you know, one does fall and one does spring or whatever. Like, the purpose is to just sit down and talk, communicate with your spouse. So the next 7 days, sit down, talk about your Fave 5 things about whichever season you want to talk about. And that is your challenge.
Yeah, or do all 4. It'll take you a while, but do it.
All 4. But do it in the next 7 days. That's the purpose of the challenge. It's not to say I'll get around to it. It's I'll do it in the next 7 days.
Yeah. And again, we thank you guys for joining us. These are always a super fun time to spend talking about this stuff. I love making the list. I love thinking about it. Thank you guys for joining us. If you want more of our stuff, again, you can head to our Patreon for some exclusives. You can also follow us on Facebook. We have a page and a group. Like to get a little bit of discussion going there. And we have our Instagram as well. Links are going to be in the show notes for those channels. But we look forward to talking with you guys next week.
Yes, and if you need to contact us, you can always contact us with our email address, which is marriagetalkspodcast@gmail.com. Again, all the links will be in the show notes, and thank you guys so much for listening. If you like the episode, please consider sharing it with a friend, and if you have not reviewed us on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a positive review because they mean the world to us. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time.